Hey everyone, I'm Coral. Welcome back to my channel. Again, I'm here with one of my favorite videos to film every year, and this is my video with some horror recommendations for warm weather horror. So I really love settings that are hot and spicy, settings that really, it's like the atmosphere and the heat of the summer lends itself well to what's happening in the story. And sometimes that's like survival horror, which is really my favorite, but also that's just like really good atmosphere in a book. And so I've got a couple here that I've read and I think embody that well, and a couple here that I'm planning to read in the summer months. And yeah, so here I am doing this. I will leave a link to the other summer horror recommendations that I've done in previous years in the description if you guys would care to watch those. And here we are. So the first one here is Summer Suns by Lee Mandelo, and this isn't set only in the summer. This does go into I think the fall months, as well as the characters here are getting into school. This is a book with a lot of interesting dynamics that I liked, but I really wish it would have gone a little bit like deeper and dirtier. This is about Andrew, and Andrew had an adopted brother named Eddie, and Andrew and Eddie grew up as best friends, but when they were young teenagers, Eddie's parents both died, and Andrew's parents ended up adopting Eddie, and Eddie was left with a substantial amount of money. So now they're young adults, they're college age, and that's what they're doing. Eddie had moved out of state. I want to say it's Tennessee, but that's not in the synopsis, so I didn't want to like dig through the book because you know me. Eddie's been there away from Andrew. Basically, he's been telling Andrew that he's getting their life set up for them. And he just wants Andrew to wait. And while Andrew is waiting, something happens to Eddie, and Eddie tragically dies. And the cause of his death is really up in the air, but Andrew feels like it was a homicide, and the police don't feel like that's what it was. Since this life is basically set up for him, and he was planning on going there this semester to start school, that's what he does. And he moves into this beautiful old house that Eddie has prepared for them, and Eddie has a roommate, and so Andrew gets basically thrust into this life that Eddie has set up, and it was supposed to be their life, right? And their friends. But now it just feels like it was Eddie's life with Eddie's friends, and Andrew really struggles with that. And he also struggles with his feelings for Eddie. So this is a book that takes place in the South. It's it feels hot and sticky, and there's a lot of like summer nights with having parties and stuff like that, and a lot of interesting dynamics. This is really queer focused. Basically all of the relationships in this book end up being queer relationships, and I really liked this book. I thought it was really fun. My only like hang up is that the ending really could have gone like deeper and darker, I think. But you know, when it was all done, it was like, well, I wish this would have been this way, but it felt like an okay conclusion, I suppose, to the story. This is a really good Southern Gothic, a modern Southern Gothic tale, and one that I would recommend. Next is The Forgotten Island by David Sodergren. This is about two sisters. What are their names? Anna and Rachel. And they're vacationing together, which is kind of a big step for both of them because they've been kind of estranged from each other. They go to Thailand, and there is like this, almost like a festival that happens, and while everyone in their group is inebriated, they make this weird decision to go to this island that's called the Forgotten Island, and it's supposed to be uninhabited, but it turns out it might not be. And this is like a really creepy like creature horror where the creatures are really very creepy, and things might not end well for everyone in Anna and Rachel's group, and it very much reads like a summer horror movie. So this was really great, brutal, lots of killing and blood and gore, And this is my first time reading David Sodergren, and I have to say, I was pleased with his books. Yeah, so ancient evil, creepy creatures, sweaty Thailand like jungle with like abandoned buildings and stuff like that. You can't go wrong. Oh, another vacation horror. I really should do like a trope video on that probably. This is Paradise Club by Tim Meyer. This one I didn't really love, but it is like a tropical island vacation slasher. So this is perfect. The atmosphere is perfect for someone who is looking for a book set in warmer weather. This is, let's see, does it say? This is about Elliot Harper, who is taking his family on a cruise, and the cruise gets off on this island, and everyone on this cruise has like won their place on this vacation, right? So right away, that's a little bit fishy. And it turns out that they have a good reason to be suspicious, because this is really a ploy for a bunch of like slasher killers to come and murder everybody. So Elliot has to try to save his family from death. This switches between very many POVs, which kind of threw me off. It felt really jumpy. It was almost like getting whiplash, you know? It was like, first we're here, then we're here, then we're here, then we're here, then we're here. And so I didn't really love that, but there is a reason kind of that it was written like that, the author goes into at the end of the book. I don't want to, you know, spoil anything for anyone, I guess, but I mean, it wasn't terrible. This was a great like slasher. If you're looking for a slasher, if you're looking for, you know, people being murdered on a beach, this is perfect for you. All right, and my last recommendation is a book I also didn't really love, but is really summery. This is Primal Animals by Lynn Rubin, and this is about a young girl named Arlie who is going to summer camp. And it's a college prep summer camp, so part of it's, you know, doing school stuff, and part of it's doing summer camp activities like swimming and archery and, I don't know, acting and things like that. So it's in a more elite school, you know, it costs a lot of money to go there, and Arlie's mom had gone there when she was young, and now Arlie feels really weird. They feel like, or she feels like everyone is scared of her mother. When they find out who she is, they're scared of her because of something her mother's done at the camp. So there's this mystery surrounding that. Then also Arlie gets inducted into this like secret society, so there's that. But really a lot of this is summer camp living. So this is great for somebody who is looking for a summery read. Definitely YA feeling. There's a lot of like friendship, relationship stuff in this, summer camp stuff in this. Not much about the secret society, unfortunately, but what can you do, right? I mean, I didn't write the book. So there it is. All right, now I also have 3 books that I would like to get to this summer. Books that I feel like are going to have some good summer vibes to them. First up is a book I'm planning on reading this month. This is Getaway by Zoje, and this is about 3 friends who are coming together after growing apart, and they decide that they're going to hike the Grand Canyon, and things go wrong. Supplies go missing, the land is really treacherous. It's just like not what they signed up for, and things are going wrong. I love a book where things go wrong, right? So who knows if this is just a straight up like survival horror because of the elements, or if this is maybe more sinister and something else is going on. But I'm very excited to get to this, and I really hope this doesn't let me down, because the last Zoje stage I read unfortunately did kind of let me down. And really, I haven't heard like anything about this. Even the publication, it just kind of like slipped in there. Like I knew about her last book, Wonderland, like months before it came out, and then I think this came out last year, and it just kind of like slipped right out into the world. Yeah, this came out August 2021. All right, the next 2 here are books that I've had on previous summer lists that I just didn't get to. The first one here is The Saturday Night Ghost Club by Craig Davidson, who I think a lot of us would know by his pen name, Nick Cutter. So this is about, let's see, this takes place in the 1980s. And we follow Jake Baker, who is spending time with his weird uncle during the summer, and they come up with this thing called the Saturday Night Ghost Club, and I don't know much about it besides that it's a summer coming-of-age story, and aren't so many coming-of-age stories set in the summer? It really is an important time in a child's life. All right, the last book I'm hoping to get to this summer is The Toll by Cherie Priest. It says a Southern Gothic horror with a contemporary twist, and I know, I'm pretty sure every single time I talk about this book, I read this part because it just is so compelling. It says, State Road 177 runs along the Suwannee River between Fargo, Georgia, and the Okefenokee Swamp. Drive that route from east to west, and you'll cross 6 bridges. Take that from west to east, and you might find 7, but you'd better hope not. Yeah, so this is about a couple on their honeymoon. They've made reservations in the Okefenokee Swamp cabins for a canoeing trip, but before they even reach there, the road narrows onto a rickety bridge with stone pilings and room for only 1 car. Much later, Titus, who is the husband in this couple, wakes up lying in the middle of the road with no bridge in sight, and Melanie is missing. When he calls the police, they tell him there's no such bridge on State Route 177. So this just sounds so great. I've been wanting to get to it, and I'm gonna try to make the time to do that this summer. So those are a couple summer reads for you and a couple for me. But also, you know, the ones that I'm reading, you can read those too, of course. I will have a list of these on my bookshop.org affiliate page if you want to check that out. But otherwise, I'd just love to know, you know, if you've read any of these, if you're thinking about reading any of these or any of that sort of stuff. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you later. Goodbye!